What's up, guys? Welcome into another episode of Jamming with J Money, man. As y'all see, hey, the sun out shining bright, man. Hey, we all got on our glasses. I don't know about y'all, man. I'm ready to get to some money, man. Lately, I've been in a little bit of a funk, man. This shit got me down, man. I'm trying to get to some money today. How y'all doing, man? What's up, Junior? You the one got us started with the glasses, man. What's up? Just before we went on, we all put on some glasses because my guy Junior came on. What's up, Junior?
What up? Yeah, I'm just coming from outside. I got them transition joints, so I'm gonna be rocking sunglasses for the next 10 minutes until my eyes get used to this light. But yeah, yesterday was up and down. I went 2-2. I really got saved by the Rockets going off in overtime, but I wouldn't call that lucky because that game should never have been close in the first place. So
Not
let's
the
get to this money
Rockets.
today. What about you, Jordan?
Not the
Yeah,
Rockets, Junior.
yeah, the Heat. You mean? Oh, the Heat.
Uh,
Yeah,
I'm
the Heat
sorry,
gave
my bad. I
me a
mean the
couple
Heat. I
roller
mean the
coasters
Heat.
last night.
I mean, did y'all see Trey Young pull a Westbrook talking about it's over, and then
Oh yeah,
Miami went on a 22-0 run? Come on, bro.
yeah. Yeah, I seen
Yeah,
that. I seen that. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That was definitely crazy, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna touch on what you had to say about it, Jordan. Before I talk my shit, y'all know I gotta talk my shit last. I'm gonna be long. So what you got to say about yesterday, Jordan?
yeah. I mean, you opened that game, and Heat first quarter was like my best play of the day yesterday. I'm feeling great, and then they only win by the first quarter bet by 6, so they only covered by 3 points. So I'm thinking, okay, things aren't looking great, but still looking okay for the first half. And then Miami absolutely the Hawks just go crazy. DeAndre Hunter, shout out to him. I mean, we were talking about this game before Junior got here. The Hawks actually played really good defense last night for the first time in, I don't know, all year perhaps, especially since John Collins has been out, and they looked really good. And then, yeah, Trey Young just got caught talking shit a little bit too early last night because Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, those guys said not too fast, young fella, because we're going to outscore you 18-4 in overtime. That game was nuts. If you had the Hawks +9, I was talking to Junior or Jay before the show. I mean, that may be one of, if not the worst beat of the entire season so far. There's probably been some that contend with that one, but to force overtime as 9-point dogs and then get outscored 18-4 in overtime, that's a pretty shitty beat. I'm not going to lie. I feel really bad for you if you were on the Hawks last night.
Exactly, terrible. And did you have anything else to say about those other games? Obviously, we're gonna talk about that one, but we got a little time
Yeah,
to
yeah.
recap. About the 76ers and Nuggets game, and then the watch the Wizards and Hornets, and then the other game, Knicks versus Portland. You have anything to say about those three, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, like Philly, I think we were talking about it. I was pretty confident in them. Lost my first quarter play on them, but won the first half. And I had a nice little money line parlay with Miami and Philly first half, so I ended up cashing that yesterday. So that was really nice. But Philly, I think, just took care of business last night. They buckled down defensively. That game was just a wire to wire defensive effort from both teams. Not surprising at all, considering the circumstances and the total and everything. Man, I did end up jumping on the Knicks last night. That was kind of what ended it for me. I was kind of split my picks yesterday, pretty much dead even in the NBA. It was saved on the day by college play on Northern Iowa, but they ended up winning outright, which was nice. But yeah, that lost my first quarter play on Charlotte, Washington in the over. I know Junior had the first half over in that one too. That was a little disappointing as well yesterday. So kind of an even day for me in the NBA. I was really excited about the slate. Had a couple of ones that went kind of fell my way, a couple of ones that didn't. It just seemed to be that kind of night last night with the 4-game slate.
Yeah, I can feel you there. Yeah, the Washington versus the Charlotte game, that was pretty crazy there. I know a lot of people was on the Wizards there. We talked about that one being steamed up for the Wizards. I told them, man, I can only look towards Charlotte, and and Charlotte went out there and got it done over the Wizards. There was a lot of people on the Wizards there. That one was pretty crazy. I should have hopped on Charlotte there. I'm mad that I didn't. It was real crazy, man. That Hawks game, it was one where I had to watch because the Hawks had a back-to-back spot. They were in a back-to-back first game of a back-to-back spot playing today. So I always have to watch those games, especially knowing that I was going to have a play in the Bulls versus the Hawks game today. If you look at it, man, the Hawks were playing phenomenal in that game. I think they deserved to win that game straight up. I mean, they were up 6 points late. I can't say I did have the Heat in the little money line parlay, so I'm like, damn, bro, are they gonna fuck me up? That was the last one I'm waiting on. Are they gonna mess me up? I'm talking about DeAndre Hunter was balling. He hit 5 threes in that game. Trey Young didn't necessarily have a good game. They was locking him up, double teaming him. He still had 21 points, but I really feel like that wasn't necessarily a good game for him. And I mean, obviously they got Herter back. It was a pretty good game for him. Jabari Parker chipped in some points, but man, the Heat, their key cogs, man, just as a Duncan Robinson, none. Obviously Butler gonna do his thing with defense, but you get 36 points from none, man. That was pretty crazy. Duncan Robinson did his thing. Like I say, man, even with all that, obviously they took him to overtime, but the Hawks played a damn good game there. They should have. I think they should have won a game that he just willed their way. I mean, maybe they go over to overtime and then just smacked them. And like Junior said, I mean, you outscored them 18-4 in overtime. But then, I mean, they closed that game on the 22-4 run. They just stomped the Hawks there, man. So it was pretty crazy there. The Nuggets, hey, I told y'all, I went and got some spicy nuggets right after the show and a little frosty. I mean, you got them. If you got the Nuggets there at the closing line at the 5.5, they cashed that ticket for you guys. So I mean, if you got Philly early, it was a damn good job. The -4, I think it had dipped down to 3.5 at some point. But I mean, hey, that minus, if you had -5 or 5.5 for Philly, it's pretty tough there, man. The Nuggets stayed in there, and it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see the Nuggets in their next game, man. They looking like they at least want to get together. They battled in that spot, and yet the Knicks +9. That was. I could tell early on, man, that was gonna be a tough one. Melo came to play the Blazers. I mean, Melo. CJ and Dame were pissed off in that game, and I told y'all they could go off. And I mean, shit, the Knicks. I mean, they just shit the bed in that one. I mean, probably a little bit of better spot for the Knicks tonight versus. I mean, it is a tough back-to-back spot, but maybe versus a team like the Warriors catching points is somewhere should. That was a tough one. I still thought it was too many points for the Blazers. They just came to play, took a L on that one, man. That one, that was a bad play, man. It was. So I mean, I take credit for them, but let's get into some shit today, man. I know my guy Junior want to talk about this game right here. We got the Clippers versus Toronto, man. So, hey, the way I look at it, it's the revenge of all revenge spots. I'm not so fast to hop on the Raptors here, but I can't say that the Clippers are the much better team. Obviously, the Raptors going to give them all that they can. Kawhi coming back here. The Clippers got a full squad here. This is the fourth game of a 6-game road trip tough. I mean, they won that last game versus the Pacers without Kawhi handily. One thing I can't tell you, the Raptors match up very well with the Clippers now. They got a bunch of bodies back. What the Clippers do is their bench. The Raptors bench, I mean, they ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they ain't no pushover either. They got some lone guys out there that can match up with Harrell, Lou Williams. I think it's going to be a close game, man. I can't tell you the total trending up 219.5 to 220.5, 222.5. And I think I'm gonna go against it, man. I like for this to be it's gonna be an intense, emotional game. Kawhi getting his ring. The Raptors have to bring their defense here. They can somewhat kind of push the pace sometimes. I just don't think in this particular game, I think it's gonna be like a playoff type, real emotional game. And I mean, I don't care. Everybody can be on the Clippers here. I'm leaning towards the Raptors here. I don't know if I'm gonna get there, but if I do it, it's gonna be Raptors money line. Like I say, this is one of them games, man, where. And the Clippers on the road, they've been winning the last few. They better dig deep if they want to win this. They're the better team, but the better team can always win. The Raptors at the house have been playing so well lately. Obviously, Van Fleet, questionable. It's a big deal. Big fucking deal. There's no way I'm taking the Raptors or even thinking about them without Van Fleet. He comes back. I think the Raptors going to win this game, and I don't care what nobody say. It's an emotional spot for them, and I definitely think the game goes under. Though I'm going to hop on this under, but since it's going up, I'm going to wait. Go to 223 for me. That's cool. Give me the under in this spot. What you thinking, Junior?
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from this one for a couple of different reasons. First of all, the Raptors just don't look good for like a good 2 weeks now. It actually would be Clippers or nothing for me in this spot. I think the emotional factor of this game. Junior, I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Junior, real quick, not to shut you out, not to cut you off, but tell the truth, didn't the Raptors show some moxie there? It was a Bulls thing, but the Bulls been playing a lot better lately. They showed some shit there because, I mean, the Bulls were on the edge. They could have lost the game, the Raptors did. They showed some shit to come back and win that game. I mean, got up by season. It only ended by 1, but they had got up in that game. They showed some shit there. Obviously, it was coming off a 3-game lose streak. They showed me something there winning without Van Fleet in a tough spot there versus the Bulls. They showed me a little something there.
I agree with you 100%. The reason why I still don't think they look good is, well, maybe I'm just biased against these baby Bulls that they're not good, but the Raptors only scored 93 points in that game. Their offense hasn't looked right since Kyle Lowry came back. and now you're going to play against this team in the Clippers that seems to be playing better defense. I don't think it's an emotional game for the Clippers. I think Kawhi is part cyborg, not even sure if he feels emotion. But it's going to be emotional for the Raptors, and I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure that that's the angle I want to ride. I kind of put the emotional element to the side on ring night.
The freeze, I think Junior froze. What you got? What you got, Jordan? I mean,
Yeah.
This is a huge game, man. What you thinking, Jordan?
Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite games of the slate. Not still much to bet on, but definitely to watch. It's probably the most intriguing one. There may be a few more that have, if not the highlight of the slate. That being said, I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on this one. And the spread going in favor of the Clippers kind of gives me some pause to taking the Raptors tonight, which is my initial thought. I was kind of there with you. It was like, that's 2.5 points. Toronto is still a very good team. But then if you think about it, if Van Vliet's out tonight, that's 15, 17 points a game. Like Junior was just talking about before we lost him there for a second. Like Toronto just hasn't looked right integrating Kyle Lowry back in the offense, and Kyle Lowry has not shot the ball well. So I think there is some things that can give you some pause if you're thinking about taking points. I want to touch on something you said earlier about the total and going under in this one. I was also right there with you with that one until I started looking at how this game breaks down pace-wise. These two teams, I mean, we know the Clippers like to push the pace, but Toronto in certain spots, especially at home, has played a little faster, and that's especially true in first halves too. So I could very much see a circumstance tonight where the first half total goes over, and then the defense kind of picks up and the pace decreases in the second half. But I'd be really weary of taking the under because I could see these two teams really pushing the pace and feeding off that energy in the crowd tonight and scoring a bunch of points in the first half. Because you look at the average pace for these two teams in the first half and their respective home road splits, it's like 104, 105 possessions per 48 minutes. It averages out to in their first half. So that scares me a little bit if you're going to bet the under. I think if there's any play for me in this game, I'd probably go first half over. It's been trending in that direction just a little bit, but you still get a little bit of value here. It's still up only about a half point to a full point at some shops from where it opened at 113. I think that if I do make a play on that game, that's probably where I'm at. But I just have a bunch of leans on this game because, like I said, I think this is going to be the game where the book's probably taking the most money. I can almost guarantee that this game will be the most bet game of the night in the NBA. I just think that the lines are pretty sharp right now, and they've been pounded into place by some action so far. So that kind of gives me a little bit of pause because I was definitely going to lean the other sides of where the line has moved. I'm not going against the steam in this game, if that's what you're asking me, though.
Right, yeah. So no official play from you on this one, Jordan?
No, I might get on the first half over, but I'm staying away for right now. I'll tweet it out if I do add something to this one. But as of right now, 11 games tonight, especially with I like just attacking like the less marquee games. There's not as much eyes on it. It's like lower hanging fruit, like this is the top of the tree tonight. Like I'm gonna reach for a little bit of lower branches, I think, on the 11 game slate.
Yeah, I can definitely feel you on that one. I usually do that as well, but some of the marquee games they could be like playoff matches, and they could be playoff intensity games, and I think this could possibly be one of those types. Even though it's East versus West, we know that it goes a lot more deeper than that, and I'm surprised, to be honest with you. I'm surprised to see this total going up. And I think this is a type of game, to be quite frank with you, that I don't think that the stats will matter. To be honest with you, I don't. Some of these games, you can throw the stats out. This isn't one of those type of games. You got added edges for both teams, and it's crazy to say because I know that Leonard isn't that type of emotional player, and we probably spent a little bit too much time on this one game. Got a lot, but I know he's not that emotional type player. And this is a big game. Fuck that. We're gonna talk about this shit. He's not that type of motion player, but that team, the Clippers are still that type of team. Where like, okay, even if Leonard isn't like that, the rest of Paul George, Beverly, Harold, the rest of those type teams, like, you know what, we got Kawhi. They gonna make it that type of game. They gonna make it this big of a game. I mean, and it's still a big game. Clippers want to win every game. Raptors want to win here. And like I say, I'm not touching. You can't touch if Van Fleet comes back. This is gonna be a real interesting game, and I think that emotion. I mean, it could go bad, but I think that in most part, we talked about this the other day. I think they had a motivational edge in this spot. I mean, because if we talking about the Clippers don't care much, the Raptors care about this one. I mean, you can say to all, yeah, and I hadn't been on them a whole lot this year, but this is one of those spots. Yeah, Clippers. This is one of those spots that before the year you circle it. Oh, Lakers on. I mean, the Clippers on a little road trip. Raptors in this first game back off a little road trip. That's not good. But obviously they got this one circled too. Everybody gonna be on the Clippers here. I think the Raptors are going to be decided. If Van Fleet comes back, I think the Raptors win this game. But I like the under going against this team. I don't care about no damn steam. It don't win every single time. Let's get into the next game, man. Let's get to the next game. You have one on this one, Jordan, Boston versus Indiana.
I was definitely leaning towards Boston, but then I wake up and the lines flip 2.5 points towards their favor as 1 point road favorites now. So if you didn't get them as underdogs, I probably would lay off of them right now because it's just a really bad matchup for them, despite the fact that I do think they'll still win this game. But it's just a coin flip right now. It's one of those other games where it's kind of like so many games to decide on today. I don't know why you'd bet on a true game here. Matchups going to exploit against Boston tonight, especially in the front court. I don't know who is going to slow down Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner. If both those guys have big games, I think Indiana wins. If both those guys are held in check, I think Boston wins. There's just too many ifs in this one. I was leaning towards the under, but I think the line is actually really sharp at 209.5. I could see that being right around where the total points finish up tonight. So once again, it's going to be a game that I'm going to like to watch for sure. I'm going to be flipping back and forth between that one and the Clippers Toronto to start off tonight. That's for sure. But just another game where I think that there's unless you got on Boston as an underdog, I'm probably staying away from it right now.
You say, I mean, so what? I mean, come on, Jordan. You saying unless you got Boston as underdog, it's just the spread is just one. I mean, regardless whether they was plus one or minus one, they need to win the game, really, right? What I'm saying is, do you think that the hometown team Pacers can win this game? That's the only thing I'm asking. You think they're gonna win?
I don't know if they are going to win. I could see them winning for sure, but this is one of those games like we talked about the other day. I think it was with this exact same spot 2 days ago with the Clippers in town. I could see the Clippers winning. I could see the Pacers winning. It's a huge slate. I don't really want to like go out on a limb and say one or the other and make a play on it. I guess I will say I think if I had to make a play on this game, if you're putting a gun to my head, or if I had a free play, I think I'd go Boston, to be honest.
Okay, no, and I wasn't trying to force you into nothing. I was just saying, I heard you say that if you could get Boston a dog, I mean, plus one and then minus one is not really, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even really that plus 1.5, I mean, it would take a lot for it to come down. I'm not trying to force you into a play.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Boston minus one and plus one is pretty much, it's pretty much a wash, pretty much. So, I mean, me personally, if you're asking me, if I had to make a play on it, I would take the Pacers at the house. Like I said, I know the line is moving. The Celtics are the better team. Pacers coming off that loss versus the Clippers. Obviously, I mean the Clippers aren't. You can't bad. I mean, it's not too bad. The Clippers are still a really great team, even without Kawhi Leonard. The Pacers might get Ja'Carr Sampson back. He's a little hidden part, you know what I'm saying, to form at least off the bench. Or I know when Sabonis and Turner was out, he was in the starting lineup. He's one of the good plus minus players for this team for the Pacers. How you beat the Pacers up is when you have a real good big down low, and you have good bigs. If I'm not mistaken, Robert Williams got ruled out of his game as well for
he's
the
out.
Celtics. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. So Robert Williams out. I mean, they thin. So if you look at it, Sabonis and Turner, you don't really have an answer for neither one of them. They should eat all day down low. I mean, the way that I'm looking at it, you see what I'm saying, Jordan?
I got you. I'm just thinking like it. This is my one problem with the Pacers, and I am super high on the Pacers for this year. I think they're total overall, but in spots like this, where it is a true coin flip, and you're looking at a team without their best player still, which I think he'll be back. I think Oladipo is going to be back in a couple weeks. I would not be surprised to see him play before the new year, if not right after it. But until they get him back and integrated back in the offense, like I just don't think they have the firepower to beat a team like Boston, who's coming in. I mean, like, this arena is going to be cheering for Brad Stevens just as much as they're cheering for the damn Pacers tonight, because Indianapolis loves that dude. Like, it just every time I go to a Celtics Pacers game, I'm not going tonight, but like the cheer Brad Stevens gets for the damn game when the starting lineup is about as much as the Pacers get during their starting lineup. It's ridiculous. So like it's kind of a strange game with the love that this place has for both Gordon Hayward and Brad Stevens. I mean, both those guys are going to get standing O's tonight. Trust me, it happens every year. So I mean, it's just a really strange spot for them, and Boston has had some success against Indiana. So I mean, until Oladipo's back, I just can't go out on a ledge here and take the Pacers. Like I think if say Oladipo was back tonight and you got that kind of emotion in the crowd, heck yeah, I'd take the Pacers. But even if he was on a minutes limit, but he's not. He's still probably a couple weeks away. So I think it's just a spot I'm laying off of tonight.
Right, I could definitely see it. I did watch some of the Jimmy with the Bag, Jimmy Baby with the Bag show, and I did hear that Junior was on the under in this game. So I know it's not back yet, but Junior does like the under in this spot. I would have to agree on there. I'm not gonna get there, but I can't tell you if Smart's not in once again. I will probably end up making at least a small play on the Pacers. It bounce back at the house, coming off a home loss, and like I say, I'm thinking that they could possibly get Sampson back here. If Marcus Smart is out as one of their key defenders, we know the Pacers got a lot of good scoring guards. They definitely need Marcus Smart to be on put on Brog. He got to be on Brogdon or Lamb, somebody, TJ Warren. If he's not on them, I think that's a underrated big deal. Rockets and Cavs, I don't have a whole lot, man. Cavs are absolute bet against. Rockets in theory, should be pissed off here. And the Celtics got a game versus the 76ers as well next game. So just possible little, letdowns. I mean, possible little look ahead spot. Just saying. The Rockets, man, I mean, it's a high spread on the road, on the land, 11.5, 12 on the road. It's tough, man. I can't tell you they did 11.5, 12 for a reason. Cavs, terrible, man. No, absolute bet against. Absolute. There's no way I would look towards Cavs, nothing, and it's not even a fucking teaser. It's Rockets or nothing. I do like the Rockets should be pissed here, especially after blowing that game versus the Kings. Game winner 3. They should be absolutely pissed here. I don't know, man. It's tough, bro. This probably is one of those games though. The Rockets probably gonna smash the shit out the Cavs. Don't be a bit surprised. Cavs, man, it's just hopeless right now. Any thoughts, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably going to be a stay away spot for me. That being said, I might get on the Rockets first half here. I haven't quite finished my handicapping for this game just yet, but I like you said, I mean, theoretically, like this is a spot where Houston should win by 40 points. But we've seen Houston in letdown spots time and time and time again. Absolutely, just get either lose straight up or lose against the spread, and it's just exhausting. And I cannot back them at any point, especially as double-digit road favorites against anybody. I don't care. This Cavs team, they are horrible. Their defense is bad. They're kind of falling apart from actually starting off the year, first 2 or 3 weeks of the season pretty hot. But I mean, I can't trust Houston full game here. Absolutely not. I may jump on their first half. I'll make that a lean here, I guess. But yeah, it's just another one of those games that I think I'm staying away from unless something changes.
Right. And Marcus Smart did not participate in shoot around. I hate to go back to the last game, but he did not participate in shoot around. Let's get to the next game, man. Lakers versus Orlando. Seen a lot of people. Giannis ruled out. Yeah, we know.
Hey, by the way, J Money, sorry that I cut out there. I just want to trickle down on what y'all just said. You got to stay away from Houston right now in this spot. There's too many points on the road. They're 11 and 12 ATS. They're just, even though the Cavs have basically quit on Bayline, I just don't think that the Rockets have shown enough consistency over a 48-minute stretch to lay that many points with them on the road.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. I know I've been taking a lot of dogs lately, man. I'm getting back to doing what I used to do last year, man. I'm looking towards the teams where I know they're gonna win. I mean, it's just questioning about, obviously, are they gonna cover the spread? Looking deeper into shit. Taking dogs lately, man. Then when I start taking the dogs, then the favorites start covering this shit, man. I'm gonna tell you, one of the favorites that I'm looking at tonight is the Rockets. They on the road, and I see what you're saying, Junior. But losing that, I mean, they pissed the fuck off. They gon' I mean, you seen that look in Westbrook and Harden when they coming out with vengeance. The Cavs.
Oh, I think that the Rockets are gonna beat them by 20. But how many times am I gonna say that and lose money behind that thought before I just stay away? That's just my whole thing.
You're right. But Junior, this is the Cavs here, bro. I mean, if it was any other team, there's no way in hell I would look at it. But these Cavs, though, no, bro.
I'm the guy.
I'm the guy that's been taking them. They are absolute bet against right now. I told y'all the other night versus Celtics. Okay, maybe if Smart is out and Hayward is in. All right, yeah, boom. Maybe could be a good spot technically for the Cavs. Nope. I don't even know why they still playing Love. Maybe they would play better without sit Love. Then maybe I'll like the Cavs. He want to play somewhere else. Why is he still out there? He's not contributing. They don't care. It's a home game. Look, you better hope that. The only thing I'm saying, you better hope that the Rockets look past them or something, because they come out pissed. Like Jordan said, that first half they gonna fucking kill them, and it's gonna be a 30-point win by the Rockets. We get to the next game though. It's nothing large for me. You know I ain't finna go lay the hammer on them on the road, but I do think they smack them up. We was talking about the next game, Junior. You got some, and I know you had the under versus Celtics game too. You want to say something real quick about that one?
Yeah, I just like the under in that spot. I'll be really quick, guys. Sorry that I got cut out there. My laptop kind of went crazy, but I just like the under 210.5 in that spot because I think that the Celtics play much better defense on the. Well, no, I don't think the numbers show that the Celtics play much better defense on the road than they do at home. Even though the pace of their road games has been faster than their home games, I think that their defense travels. Obviously, I think the Pacers are a defensive team. And if you look at how the Pacers lost to the Clippers, the other day, that game was played at 104.5 pace. I think that this game today definitely does not get to 100. It's going to be way under that number because the Pacers know that the quick pace does not serve them. The Celtics don't even want to play fast anyway. I just think all of those factors lead me towards an under 210.5 in this spot.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can see that. And it's moving down to 209.5 too. I can definitely see it. I definitely would like to see. I need to see if Smart's in. Like I said, I think that's going to be a huge key for the Celtics in that spot. I think it's Celtics and under, or if you like the Pacers, I actually think that possibly leads to the over though. We'll see though. I did tell them the guys I was leaning towards the Pacers in that spot, man. So the Lakers and the Magic look ahead spot. Hey, I'm not gonna say that because I'm not betting against the Lakers. I'm not stepping in front of them. They do go to Miami the next game. That's the only thing that I'm gonna say. I mean, the Magic can be scraped at the house. They're getting 8. They're gonna miss Vujicic in this game. They need them. They got some damn good defenders out there. They got some players. I mean, it's gonna be obviously tough to stop Davis. They got some players to throw at them. They got some players to throw at LeBron. I mean, I'm just saying that it could be a possible look at spot. It's the only thing I'm saying. And I'm not betting against the Lakers. I can't do it. But the Magic at the house do play a lot better. The offense been playing a lot better. I mean, you're getting 8, and the Lakers getting steamed. I understand it. But they play the Heat next. It's always a little vulnerable spot. The Lakers they 11-1 on the road. You can't step in front of them, man. You just can't. What you thinking, Jordan? Did you have a play in this game or anything? If you don't have a play, then we could just kind of say too much and then get to the next one.
No play, but I will say that I am leaning towards the over, and the steam is going in that direction. I think simply because the Lakers' defense has not been what it is on the road compared to at home, and I think the pace could increase a little bit in that spot as well. And the Magic, I think, even though they're better defensively without Vucevic, I think it's the Lakers we're talking about. I don't think they have the horses to stop them tonight. So if we do see a lot of points, I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be my only official thought, I think, on this one, but I don't have any plays on it as of yet, no.
Any thoughts, Junior?
Yeah, I'm riding with the Lakers here. We doubted the Lakers right before they were in that spot where they played what was it? Denver and Utah back to back. Obviously, they showed that was no fluke. That even though they've been beating up on bad teams, that realistically their defense is for real. And now all of a sudden their offense is awake. Listen, as long as Anthony Davis is going to put up 29-9 with 2.5 blocks, it's kind of hard to jump in front of the Lakers train right now. Their defense has been consistent, even though Jordan did mention that it's not been as good as it was to start the season. It's still been pretty consistent. I think that as far as Orlando goes, here's my actual problem with Orlando. Every time that Orlando has played a top 10 defensive team, I'll just read you their scores. All right, so they scored 95 against the Raptors, 91 against the Bucks, 87 against Denver. 97. They beat Philly. They scored 112, which was a big one for them. That's the only game this season where they've really managed to be able to put up, over 100 points against a top 10 ranked defense. I think they might have gotten 102. I don't have the schedule in front of me against the Pacers. My point is, I could definitely see the Magic scoring less than 100 points in this game. One of the main reasons is this: the Lakers lineup with Davis and JaVale McGee as starters. It's been a good lineup, right? The Magic front court right now is pretty thin. When the Lakers go to the bench, they usually take Davis and McGee off at the same time, put in Dwight at the 5, and they take LeBron from the point and make him a small ball 4. How are the Magic supposed to counter that? I just don't see how the Magic match up with these guys in any way, shape, or form. I will say that Jonathan Isaac, I'm really, really curious to see how he matches up with LeBron, because I really believe that Jonathan Isaac could be a defensive superstar. He's definitely already one of the best defensive players in the NBA. We just don't hear too much about it because he plays for Orlando. But other than Jonathan Isaac, who's slowing down anybody on the Lakers for Orlando? And I know that's weird to say with the Magic being one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, but the makeup of the Lakers right now, I just think it's a bad spot for Orlando.
Yeah, I can see it. Kyle Kuzma just got ruled out. Let's see, Rondo is still questionable. He questionable as well. Need to see if he's gonna be in there. So people were saying that Anthony Davis was questionable in this spot. I know remains probable every single game.
Anthony Davis has been questionable since the first day he stepped into the NBA, bro.
Yeah,
let's be realistic.
You're right. Yeah, and I can't believe that shit. That I don't know if I like. I'm kind of tired of seeing this shit. If it's gonna be an injury update, at least if he's gonna be probable every game, just stop fucking around. But one big deal I was gonna say, Markelle Fultz. Illness, so that could be why the spread is going up. I mean, obviously the Magic are he's been one of their. I mean, he's been the starting point guard here lately. Augustine been coming off the bench, so Fultz has been lit a little fire for the Magic offense. Reason why offense hadn't been too bad. He's looked pretty good. If he don't play in this game, obviously, I mean, yeah, that's gonna be pretty big. But yeah, like I say, Kuzma out. Need to see if Rondo gonna be in there. I mean, I don't have a play on the game, man. I'm just looking at some shit when I just saw Fultz come up on my phone, that's actually a pretty big deal there. That could be why I know a lot of people was pounding the Lakers this morning. It was 6.5, 7, then went up to 8 before you knew it. So, like I said, it'll be interesting to see. But with the heat on it, it's always an interesting spot. No Fultz, I might have to look towards the Lakers my damn self, or definitely the Magic team total under for sure. For sure, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's all we got on this game. Let's see. Let's get to the next game, man. I want to talk about it. The Hawks. Like I said, I had to watch that game yesterday because I saw this spot. You know what I'm saying? Today, we obviously got the Bulls got the rest advantage here. They favored by 5, a little much. Tough to lay points with the Bulls at the house. I know I bet against them on the road. I bet against them with the Warriors on the road in the last game of the road trip, and we got the cash there. They still played well in that game too. Let me see. I'm seeing Kobe White. He played the last game. He had 0 points. That was crazy, right, guys? Versus the Raptors. He played a damn good game versus the Raptors. The Bulls, they 5-1 ATS last 6 games. Last 3 games, the Bulls 4th in defense. What the hell going on? Archie Diacono, he gonna play. Kobe White, he gonna play. Denzel Valentine balled a little bit last game, hit some threes. He gonna play. Gafford played some damn good defense against the Raptors. He's gonna play. Felicio out, he out. But those just the injury updates, right? And all those players are a little banged up. The Hawks, overtime loss. They played a damn good 3.5 quarters. The late 4th quarter fell apart. Overtime just ran out of gas. I think we see a tired team tonight here in Chicago. In the second half, I think it's gonna get worse. I like the Bulls here. It's tough because last game I said it's tough to lay points with the Bulls. They've looked a lot better lately. They have. They lost the 3 straight games. All 3 of them in 5 points or less. They are laying points here, but they still showed me something there versus the Raptors. Could have won that game straight up. Levine a little banged up as well. He gonna play too, shoulder and back. I think they come to play tonight, man. Hopefully Trae Young's not too pissed. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He posted on Twitter and everything like, damn, he shouldn't have opened his damn mouth. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The Hawks hadn't looked too bad But Hunter, Trae Young, they played 40 minutes last night. I think it's gonna be a tough spot for him traveling to Chicago. If they left it all out there on the floor last night. It's tough to bring that same energy the next night. Bulls aren't, you know what I'm saying, too great of a team. You look at the matchups though. I think Satoransky can slow down Trae Young. I think so. Obviously Hunter, he coming back from an injury still. He gonna be on Levine, but I think the Bulls gonna get tired late in this game, man. I like the Bulls here, man. I don't care. I'm getting back to my favorites. What you thinking on this game, Junior? Don't shit on them. Don't shit on the Bulls too much for me, Junior. Not today, man.
No, it's funny, bro. So I haven't laid points with the Bulls since the first game of the season where I took them over the Hornets. For the second time this season, bro, you got to lay the points with the Bulls here, man. Atlanta's not a bet-on team. Yeah, they had their chance last night. Trae Young talking about, yo, it's over. Pulled a Westbrook, got a slice of humble pie. And let's just be realistic. As much as I shit on the Bulls, lately in their last 3 games, they should have won those 3 games. And if you don't agree with that take, then you could at least have to say they could have won those 3 games, which means that they've been playing better. And the 2 of those games you're talking about, the Raptors and the Heat, 2 of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Now the Golden State Warriors game, they definitely should have won that, which kind of leads me to my overall point on the Bulls. The thing I don't like about the Bulls more than anything else is their coach. Let me tell you something right now, bro. If you got Atlanta coming off a back-to-back situation, not just a back-to-back situation, but a demoralizing victory, because if you're Atlanta and you finally yeah, we got it going, we're rolling, we're beating up on this team, our star point guard talking about it's over even though we're trash. I don't know how you could call a game being over. And then you go on and lose. That's a deflated team. There's no way that you're going to tell me they're coming into Chicago tonight with high levels of energy. If the Bulls lose this game, Boylan's got to go, bro. He's got to go. I'm sorry.
Right after the game, like no press conference.
Yeah, like tonight, he's got to go.
Like, look, right after the press, right after the game, do the press conference, get up there, get his little bottle of water, everything. No, they snatch somebody's shirt. Get your ass out of here, man. You're right. If he don't win this one, bro, he got to go, man. But I think they're gonna win. What you thinking, Jordan?
Yeah, y'all are giving way too much credit to Gar Forman and John Paxson for making the right move in a coach, which they haven't done in I don't know, forever, basically, since they hired Tibbs, but then they went ahead and fired him. But yeah, that's not going to happen because the Bulls management is absolutely trash. This game, however, I'm not quite there with you guys. I think if I would make a play on this game, I'm going to lean towards the Bulls in the first half more than the full game because I can't trust them right now. And Atlanta actually has been playing pretty good. And we talked about it last night before the show. Like, they actually played really good defense last night. I mean, up until the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, and then obviously in overtime. But they look good. And yeah, coming off this spot last night, it's going to be really hard for them, especially with how many points they've given up here. But they've been an atrocious first half team defensively, and I think that's where I would try to take advantage of them because the Bulls have actually been extremely good in the first half. Their last 5 have only allowed 45 points per first half. That would be where I would go. I think it's probably where I'm going to end up too, but I haven't yet. I haven't really locked in anything. I was close to locking in the Bucks first half, but then Giannis got ruled out, so that turned that on its head. So I really haven't made a play yet today, but I think this one is probably my next best option right here is Bulls first half. But I probably could be persuaded to lay the 5-2. I don't know. We could jump back on the baby Bulls. We're all going to be disappointed tomorrow, by the way, though. I'm just going to let you know. But they'll cash the first half before Trae Young pulls a 40-piece and covers the spread here in the second half.
No, don't say that, bro. I mean, because if you're saying that, then you're saying and you're going against us, man. And
I would never do that. I would never take the points here with the Hawks.
If you like the Hawks here, I mean, if the Bulls play well, there's no way in hell you're gonna tell me that the Bulls come out in the first half and play well and then let this game slip away to the Hawks. Because in the second half, we know in the back-to-back, if anything, the Hawks will bring something here early. In the second half, we saw it, man. And I remember watching the last game, and I remember hearing the announcer say both the teams were on the back-to-back. The Bulls were the one that was off the back-to-back from Miami, playing the Raptors, and still almost beat them. I can hear the announcer right now in my ear. Man, both of these teams look tired. tired, don't they? You could just hear him say it. The Bulls were still going at it, giving their all. Are the Hawks going to do that? I mean, yeah, the defense looked good for 3 quarters. The fourth quarter, not necessarily. And the Heat just sleepwalking through that game, man. The Hawks still aren't a great team. I'm riding with the Bulls here. You can't tell me that the Hawks are finna come back here in the second half. If anything, they're gonna be up at the half and then end up beating the Bulls. In the second half, this one's gonna get even worse, man. Give me the Bulls minus the 5, and the second half is gonna get even worse for the Hawks. They're like the run and gun. They don't play in defense. You can't say their defense is gonna travel because they don't play even defense at the house. Bulls already went, smacked them at the house, won the 113-93, man. Give me the Bulls again here off 3 straight losses. Like I say, covered 5 of the last 6 games. Give me the Bulls here at the house. So let's get to the next game, man. Since we almost only got like 5 more minutes here, 4 more minutes. We could talk about that. Yeah, Giannis ruled out. I didn't even see it. I didn't have any. I'm not betting on that game, but those one of them spots where the books feel like, we playing the Pelicans. We can win this game even without Giannis. I'm staying off this shit, man. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if you guys want to touch the Pelicans, you can. The Grizzlies and versus Suns spot. I'm leaning towards the Grizzlies, and when they getting Brandon Clark back tonight, getting back healthy. I'm still not a fan of the Suns. They beat the Timberwolves, but we'll see. I'm not finished late at 7 with them. The Jazz versus Timberwolves. Man, look, bro, I'm standing. Fuck the Timberwolves. They lost every game on the road trip. They come back to the house. You think it's a spot for them? It's supposedly a spot for Utah. I'm staying off this shit. OKC versus Sacramento. I'm leaning towards OKC. They have been on a road trip and they won the past 2 road games. They the better team. They better than Sacramento. Even getting Bagley back, I think they could throw everything off. And Knicks versus Warriors. I don't have shit to say about that either. Any of those late games that you had to play on, Jordan?
Nothing as of yet. I would lean towards Minnesota though. I think if one of all the games you mentioned, the Utah Jazz have looked absolutely awful lately, and Minnesota. I mean, they're a little inconsistent, but without Mike Conley in the lineup, like who's to say that the Jazz are that much better, even if they should be favored on the road here against the Wolves? I don't think there's much to go off that. I think the Wolves are getting it back. They're pretty deep. They're getting some of their guys back. I'm not as concerned about that one. I think if there is any play of the ones you mentioned, I think the Wolves on the money line and plus the points, I think it would be a good one. And I should just real quick, like, I'm not touching the Bucks here. If you grabbed them early, there's still some books hanging 13 and a half, it looks like. So if you want to go run and jump on the Pelicans, be my guest. It's not going to be me tonight. And I wouldn't underrate Bagley coming back tonight for the Kings. I think that could actually have a really big effect for them because he is huge for them. And it allows them to have a lot more depth in their front court, which they have not had lately. And they can run and gun a little bit more now and push the pace against this Thunder team. And I know they don't play fast at all. They're one of the slowest pace in the team. But if they did and had to play up in pace against OKC, I wouldn't be that scared of it tonight. So the Steam's going that way. That would be the other game that I'd be intrigued on, maybe laying that 1.5 with Sacramento. But I think of all those late games, I think it's probably the Wolves or nothing for me. I'm definitely not touching the Knicks and Golden State tonight. That game is just trash.
Exactly, man. If the Knicks were on a back-to-back, I wish that this was their spot last night. I could see them, but I mean the
Huge
Warriors
letdown for me
coming off
last
a
night
loss
Knicks,
at
man.
the
I
house
can't touch
well.
them.
But man, I can't take the Knicks there plus the 5, man. I wanted to, but it's a tough back-to-back spot for them too. Fuck the Knicks, man. What you thinking, Junior? On any of these late games, any of the 5 late games that do you have a look on?
Yeah, I'll be quick because I know we're out of time. I had taken the Bucks minus 7.5 first half really early this morning. I didn't know Giannis was going to be out. That first half line has only gone down to -6, which kind of doesn't really make sense to me. That being said, you can't put money on the Pelicans right now. The Pelicans' defense is horrible. Their offense is horrible. And that's the whole thing. Their identity was being able to just run up the score and try to make you keep up with them. In the last 5 games, their offense has absolutely fallen off a cliff. They're, a matter of fact, in the last 5 offensively, they're even worse than the Knicks. So, I mean, it's a complete stay away for me. I will say something about that Utah-Minnesota game, though. The reason why I think Jordan's onto something with that money line play, if you look at Utah, if Utah plays against a stretch 5, that's like their kryptonite. If you could get Rudy Gobert out of the lane, the Jazz defense is just not what it once was because now they're relying on perimeter guys. Conley's out. Bogdanovich is not a great defender. Donovan Mitchell's an undersized guard. I think that if and Cat is the ultimate stretch five. He shoots like 7, 8 threes a game. So the Minnesota Wings might have some driving lanes against this Utah team that, number one, can't seem to score against anybody anymore. And their defense is still good, but it isn't great. I just think that Utah is just not a bet on team right now at all.
Yeah, no, and I'm talking to the chat real quick, man. Now I see somebody talking shit. Tom Ford, don't make me get on your ass, man. Don't make me do that. I'm here for a reason, my guy. We got to wrap up the show, man. I'm liking the Bulls tonight. Nothing on those late games for me, man. I'm liking the Bulls. Might end up hopping on those Rockets tonight. And yeah, you see that that total plummet in that excuse me, in that Bucks game from 236 down to 231 and a half, man. So shit, that motherfucker got pounded. And man, we'll see. And hey, the Clippers and Raptors game went down to 221 and a half. I'm telling you guys, it's an under spot, man. Let's get some cash for our families. Leche, hey, those bookmakers.